Hello there, my name is Asleon. Today we will be talking about how I built my Flins. Alright, let's get right into it. He's got 23,493 HP, 2020 attack, 898 defense, 347 EM, 46 over 163 correct crit damage, 133 ER, and 46 electro damage bonus. Weapon-wise, I have him on the Blood-Soaked Ruins, aka his signature weapon. I got it, I'ma use it. I would also, if I didn't have it, I would put him on like the Primordial Jade Spear, Skyward Spine could also be good with the ER additional stuff. Although I could also run him on the Tamers No Oshino. I think ER is pretty good for him because you do want his ult up a lot. It increases the attack by some. And which triggers after use of his elemental skill, which then will, well, depends on how you're playing him, but I think most play him where you use his E twice. I at least play him where you use his E twice and then you hit his alternate ult. My preferred way of playing him, that's how I do it. So that's how I'm going to be talking about how you're playing. Flins. I think Dragon's Bane can also work for him because he's a lunar charge character. He's going to be fighting people with Hydra, so that's just the damage boost of 36, plus the EM is nice for him. Anyway, that is all I have for the weapons. Artifact-wise, for Flins, because of, let me go over to his talents real quick, because of his Whispering's Flame, what is it called? Talent. I don't remember. They should have a proper name. The Spring Flame and the Moon Sign Benedict Old World. You actually want to make sure he has at least 2,000 attack. I did the math, unless I did the math wrong. That should be right to get him all of the buffs, which is why my Flins has at least 2,000 attack. So you want to prioritize attack percent up to that point. Then I would do crit rate, crit damage, which is why for his stance, you want attack percent. For his goblet, you could do electric damage bonus or attack percent. Dependent, I mean, you could also do EM. I really don't care for that for him, though. Electric damage or attack percent, depending on if you need the attack or not. My personal opinion. You could always just put him on full attack percent and put him on electric damage bonus, one or the other. Your call. And then for his circlet, crit rate or crit damage, focused on attack percent, crit damage, and then EM. Maybe a stronger emphasis on the EM because with my setup, you won't get EM otherwise, except from the 160 he's going to get from his talent. That should be right. Yeah, his talent. Now, set-wise, Knight of Skies Unveiling is just the best set for him, but you could also put him on Gladiators. I don't care for him on Wanderer's Troupe, but I think Emblem could actually work well. The ER isn't the greatest, but the ER could give him some more energy regeneration, and then his burst damage, the additional burst damage could be really nice, especially if you put a lot of ER into him, which would then lead to his burst damage being even more, which is where my Flames gets most of his damage. Talent-wise, I focused on his burst, then I did his E, and I'm leveling his base. I'll probably triple crown him eventually. He's not there yet. Recommended, I think, is actually that order. Yeah. But you could also build him various other ways. I don't think I'm going to go over them in this video. I'm just going to go over how I have him currently built. But you could probably do it to where his base attack does most of his damage. Anyway, con-wise, I don't have any cons. But his cons, he's C1. Lowers the cooldown of his base E by 4 seconds. And then when party members trigger Lunar Charge, Flins will gain 8 elemental energy, and it can occur every 5.5 seconds. Now, for his C2, after the use of his special skill, Flins' next normal attack will deal 50% of his attack as AoE electro damage bonus. So if you have this, maybe you want to give him more attack, so this does more damage. You could think about it if you have a C2 Flins. Anyway, this damage is considered lunar charge damage, which is why you want where he does a lot of lunar charge damage, which is what the Knight of the Skies Unveiling does, is help boost that damage. Anyway. And then Moonsign Ascendant Gleam, I believe. Let me double check. It should be. Where is it? It was somewhere here. I can't. There we go. Flins is skills. And Flins' skills enhanced. I think it's just a thing for his all offensive true power dealing and all with transfer Loomis damage. It doesn't really tell me if there are thunderclouds nearby. Flames will deal additional 2. Oh, it's probably connected to this. When a party member triggers an electric charge reaction, it will be converted to lunar charge damage. Lunar charge reaction. With every 100 attack Flins has increased, additionally influences in the party's moon sign will be increased by 1 level. Moon sign, ascendant gleam. Is that something to do with the party? I should have looked at that prior. But, let me see. Moon sign. Is it called a moon sign ascendant gleam? All characters within the party moon sign ascendant gleam effect. Okay, so I will get to that more of that when I get to talking about his teams. So that's what it means by moon sign ascendant gleam is what it's going to affect is when there's thunderclouds, or here is moon sign ascendant gleam will also when Phyllis is on the field after his electro attack hits an opponent. It decreases their electro resistance by 25% for 7 seconds. Anyway, the next one increases the level of his ultimate. His C4 gives him plus 20% attack, and Whispering Flame, which is the one that increases his EM, will now do 10% of his attack, and you can attain 220. I think this now means you do need 2,200 attack on him to get the maximum buff. If you just have 2,000, he will only be getting 200 additional EM. So that's something to think about if you have a C4 Flins. Now, C5 increases the level of his E. His C6 is that damage dealt by Flins, that is the Lunar Charge action, is elevated by 35%. So that is a special damage boost effect that is calculated independently of other damage boost effects. How much that 35% is going to increase it and all of that, I don't really get it. It will be increased by the damage will be increased by 35% independently of other damage boost effects, basically. And then with Moon Sign Ascendant Gleam, all nearby party members' lunar charge damage will be alleviated by 10%. So again, same thing, independent of other damage stuff, it'll be increased by 10%, which is really nice. Because you really want to run him on a lunar charge. Anyway, now to the teams. For anything that was the Moon Sign Ascendant Gleam, you need at least 2 Wrong Nation Nod Cry characters. After finishing the quest of the Dark Side Memory, move it to the letters, the Moon Halls, the Moon Side. Yeah, I'm gonna ignore that. 2 characters. But that's why I have Ino in the team here. I've heard enough of his best in slot. I don't have an Anefa. I would love an Anefa, but I don't have her. Just make sure you run him with another Nod Cry character. Most likely that's going to be Ino. Everyone should have Ino as long as they've gotten to the... Right? She wasn't an event one. She was a permanent event one like Kachina and Calais. So everyone should have an Ino. So if you have a Flins, you can run him with Ino, which is really, really nice. Because Ino is Hydro, and she does a decent field, so that's going to help with the Electric Charge. I have Ori here, our other Electric Charge baby. He didn't get anything because he's not run with any others. And then I have Kogumi here for survivability. Boop. I would also possibly consider running him with Jingcho. No. Where is it? Here. With Jingcho. Because that way, when you use base attack, he'll be triggering Lunar Charge, because Jingcho will be applying the Hydro, yada yada yada. I assume you all know how to play Jingcho. I'd say just make sure you run him with a Hydro character. I think a healer is pretty good for survivability. You could try running him with Farina if you really wanted to, swapping her carefully between application and damage and her healing. You know, if you don't want your friends to die. You could run him with Barbara. Her Hydro app isn't the greatest, and I don't consider her healing the best either, but you could run him with Barbara. Especially if you have a C6 Barbara, that would be pretty cool. You could do Mona if you just want to buff more damage. Ayato for Hydro application. He's not the greatest, but if he's one of your only options, you could throw him in there. Basically, just run him with a Hydro character. Um, Candace is just gonna increase elemental damage. She doesn't. Actually, she has decent as long as you're swapping around. But once you swap to Flins, you're not really gonna be doing that anymore. Anyway, this is my favorite team for him. Now I could always just swap out Ori for another Electro character, and maybe if I had the Shogun, possibly, but I don't even know if I would do that. I could put Fischl in there, but I don't really want to. Kuki if I want to swap out my Sustainer, and I want to put someone else in instead of Kokomi. And of course, I could always throw in, like, I could always kick him out and put in, like, Kazuha, or I could put in Kuki and then put Kazuha here, or I could throw in, where is she? Where are you? Is she 70 or is she 80? Ignore the... Ah, there she is. Or I could throw in a Sucrose. I heard his best in team is like him, Inefa, Aino, and Sucrose, I think. I don't know what I'll do, but I really like this team. One, I like running Ori. Two, I finally get some use out of my Kokomi. I got her because I needed a healer, and then yeah, I'm not using her that much. She's using many other teams. I love having Aino in there, and this does really well anyway. Anyway, let's go beat up Child. I have a feeling this is gonna be a really easy round. Watch me die like 8 times after saying that. Alright, Ajax, don't murder me, okay? Come on, Ori, beat him up. I know you're strong. Ish. I've worked on you, some. Oh, come on. First I just keep getting hit. He keeps getting sent. Oh no. Get the jellyfish down. I know. Field. Flins. Done. Alright, just one more round of that and then we will be done. Flins will have his sting up. We'll get our third Ori thing. I don't know if he's going to hang around here, but there we go. We can throw down Kokomi's too, if she will stop moving back around. And then, oh my gosh, you teleported away! How dare you! So rude. Oh my gosh, that's so annoying. You are so annoying. Sometimes I really don't. I don't like how much he moves. Like, dude, I just finished laying down everything for your eventual murder, and then you teleport away right before Flins does his attack. Oh my gosh, right as I was... Seriously? Child! Rude! Do you not want to fight me at max power? Scared? Seriously, man. Just let me murder you. I'm not even getting electro charge damage that much. That was so annoying. He should have died like 2 times prior to his death. Anyway, that's all for Flins. Honestly, he's one of my stronger characters. It helps that he's new. That definitely helps with his strength. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed the video, please leave a like. And if you want to see how I built videos, subscribe. And may you have a blessed rest of your day.